Hi guys, it's Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching October 13, 2020. It is a Tuesday, and you're watching the Awesome 10x Global Market Update. Let us discuss the world. So I want to share a few things. Do note that in the Philippines, in the world, let's take a look at your S&P 500 market heat map. Yesterday was, of course, a very strong day for your Facebooks, Amazons, Microsofts, Googles. You could see that it's a very, very green day. Your Microsoft is $220. Your Apple was up 6%, $124. Your Google is up 1,564. Your Facebook is at 275. It even reached to $80. Your Amazon was $3,500. Let's take a look at where the Nasdaq now is, and I'll share a few things. In this move of Apple, let's take a look even just on Apple. Click on that. You'll notice that the Nasdaq wall was at about 12,000 and Apple was at trading at about 130 to 140 then, fell down massively at about 105 and now back to 124. Now you might think that that's nothing, but consider what happened for Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway has roughly 1 billion shares as of June 30, 2020. That $20 move of Apple means that from, what's this, June 30? Okay, so let's take a look at June 30. From June 30, that is here, June 30, his $80, okay, July, let's take a look here, June 30, his $90 is up $35 if he sells it at 125 on average. So if you've got $35 billion of profit, assuming you've got 1 billion shares, it actually automatically wipes out a lot of your losers. In Berkshire Hathaway's case, his losers meaning his airlines. So you could see that the power that I'm sharing to you is that you could afford to have some mistakes. In his case, he's got mistakes investing in which he admits, right? He admitted that he lost money on his airlines because it was not pandemic proof. And then I'm just saying to you that when you look at the entire heat map of Berkshire Hathaway Holdings, he is a heavily concentrated portfolio on Apple. And in my view, there is a myth that was propagated that Warren Buffett was a buy and hold investor, but in reality, Warren Buffett has been trimming his shares in Apple. So let me share to you some news on that. Berkshire Hathaway Holdings sells Apple shares. Since September 4, 2020, Berkshire Hathaway saw the value of its stock tumble as much as $20 billion in just 2 days as tech sell-off happened. That was September. So remember this. Remember this September when the market crashed from about 130 to as low as 110 below. So do note that that is your resistance as well on Apple. So I will share to you as a chartist that those things aren't forgotten. Those things aren't forgotten. So let's go to the charts first. Okay, since you're seeing this Beyond Meat chart, let me just share to you that in this run-up of Beyond Meat from 125 to 135 where we bought, we noticed that that was a resistance at 160, which wasn't a resistance but a breakout. So 160 to 190 or a $32 move was actually an extra 20%. So 20% plus 20% or actually more than 50% assuming your cost of 120 to 192. So what I'm seeing here is that after a strong move from September to October in just 1 month, I think that there will be temptation in some traders or some investors even that this resistance for Beyond Meat at 204 would be trimmed. So caution is necessary. I'm going to show to you those run-ups, those strong moves of Apple. In my view, the resistance here at about 130 was never gone. So given that Apple is going back to about 125 to 130, assume a double top first for Apple. So there will be some trimming here. Take a look as well on some names. So let's take a look at your Amazons. So in my view, this is a place 3435 is also an area. It can even go 36. But in my view, this is a place where you sell. This is a selling area. Yes, we're buying here at about 29. 29 to 35, 36 is already a 20% move And some people, even at 10-15%, will already take profit. So I'm seeing that the Fantasium as a group looks to be a profit-taking area. Fantasia meaning your Facebooks, your Amazons, your Apples, your Nasdaq essentially. So you could see that Nasdaq fell from 12.4 back to 11,000. We are coming back to this 12,300, 12.4, and that is a potential resistance. I understand that the market is happy, but we still need to define some resistances for you. It could go to 13,000, 13.2, but you want to trim on the way up, meaning as it goes higher, you want to be selling on the way up. So NASDAQ at 12,000, be cautious again. Google, okay, so Google fell from 1736 down to as low as 130.14. So that was a 20, 30, 25% move. This recovery is actually a potential retest here, a resistance still at 1650. So I still see these resistances. These are not gone. So what happens when you see a resistance? You trim. Example, Unity, okay, Unity had a resistance at 100, fell down to 90. Nonetheless, of course, you could see that there was a higher low here at about 85 and 84. The big drop last night could continue to have some profit taking, or if it rallies back up, then you should assume that this 99 or 100 level will still be a potential resistance. Some IPOs to share. BigCommerce had a resistance here at 160. This one had a strong resistance here at about $120. So should BigCommerce rally to 120 or even at 110, that is more a chance to sell. So I'd say that that is a selling zone. It's very, very huge selling zones here. Now, what's going to happen with your Facebook? Let's take a look. Yes, Facebook is a company I like, but nonetheless, because all these NASDAQs could pose a potential resistance, just be aware that 285 back to 300 could be a resistance area. Does it mean that your other favorites like C Limited would have some resistance? Let's take a look. You'll see that some people are trying to profit take already. At 175, near 174, some people are already selling. So sure, it can go to 194, but you want to be protecting some gains and profit taking on the way up. Such that if C Limited drops back to 155 below, then we'll buy it back again. So it's not really a sell all, it's just a sell a little because of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, you'd have, my assumption is you'd have 5 times more C Limited shares rather than your sell orders. Assuming you've got, let's assume that each buy arrow there was 10 shares. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, assuming you're selling half here and selling half here, even if you sell just a little, then you'll still have so much gains intact and so much cash for buying back. So we don't advise selling all. In fact, you must learn from the great Berkshire Hathaway that he does this. Even if Omaha sells a few, that represents that stake is technically all free money. So Berkshire Hathaway invested in Warren Buffett through Berkshire Hathaway invested in Apple about $30 billion 5 years ago. And today, that $30 billion stake is already $125 billion. So here, let me show to you that monthly chart for Apple. $30 was somewhere here at about 2015. So in 5 years' time, he already quadrupled his money. Even if he sells $7, $8 billion and the $10 billion he sold September and then sells again on October, then practically all the $100 billion is profit. Learn from the Berkshire Hathaway of Omaha to learn how to sell some of your winners, but not all. So, of course, there is the myth that he is actually just a buy and hold investor. That is a myth. He keeps a lot of his holdings, yes, but he also shares a few. So the fact that there was from 1 billion shares to just less than a billion means that he has been selling. Maybe in his mind, 10 million shares or 10 million shares is just $1 billion. 50 million shares is just $6 billion, but that is billions after billions after billions. And that is why he is the richest man in the world, started from Omaha, right? So yeah, so learn from the great Warren Buffett. So let's take a look at a few names for news. GrowGeneration actually had this acquisition. So GrowGeneration was a Denver-based chain of specialty hydroponics and organic garden centers. They've acquired Phoenix-based Hydroponics Depot. This is an indoor and outdoor garden center. Financial terms aren't disclosed. GrowGen appears to be betting on Arizona passing Prop 207, which is on the ballot in November, legalizing the cultivation and use of marijuana for adult ages 21 years or older. Arizona's cannabis market could grow in a $2 billion market, including both recreational and medical marijuana. With this acquisition, GrowGen's portfolio of hydroponic garden centers will now include 29 stores in 11 states. So actually, in my view, GrowGeneration will now be a buying zone. So ever since the Kamala Harris debate, I took a look back again on all of these cannabis names, and yours truly did buy some cannabis names. I think that this one, GrowGeneration, after that breakout here at about 1760, is a chance to re-enter. Yes, I've sold before at about 16, 17, and I don't mind selling at 16 and buying back 1760 if I know that I was wrong. If I know that it's going to go higher, I don't mind buying higher. So yes, GrowGeneration, in my view, goes to about 25, 27. This acquisition is a good thing. So if GrowGeneration goes down back to about 1750 all the way to 16, I am a buyer. Ta-da! Yes, I am a buyer. Now, let's take a look at some graph. Giraffe, aka Velodyne Lighter. So we are a buyer here. Actually, at about 16, we said even at 14 that we would buy. Last night, Velodyne Lighter actually broke out of that 17 to 18. I do think that your resistance here is here at about $20 and $24. So yes, it is a resistance there. Now let's take a look at NNDM. We said that Nano Dimension was a buy here at about $2.25. Some of us entered $2.25 to 50 area. It rallied back to about $3. Where can it go? It could be 4, could be 350, but so far so good. I'd say that as long as we are right, we hold our winners, and we might increase our weighting on Nano Dimension in the next couple of weeks or months. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. So so far, I just need to see how the higher lows for Nano Dimension will be. Will it be a higher low here at about 230, or will it be a higher low here at about $3? So I need to see that. The market has to tell me whether we're going to go 450. Now, Vuzi was very strong last night. For those who are aware, Vuzi was a free class pick. Vuzi right now had tried 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth time. Fifth time is the charm. Is Vuzi really going to go 570 or 9 pesos, $9, sorry. Vuzi has tried to break out several times. And in my view, eventually this one will break. 476 in my view will eventually break. And Vuzi in my view can go to as high as this 6, 7, 8, 9, which we are of the belief, if you are a believer of the wearable trends. So in my view, this resistance at $7 would probably be the next move higher for Vuzi. Most likely this $4 to $5 would be broken out soon. I don't know when, but my view is that it could be catalyst on earnings front on November. Could be. Not so sure, but my view is that Vuzi will still rise. Okay, so also let's take a look at some. So you mentioned a while ago some cannabis names. Let's take a look at some cannabis names, shall we? So medical cannabis names, a few names. Let's go to their charts. You can see that all the cannabis names have been underperforming for quite a while, ever since 2020. And this year, it has not even rallied at anything. So Tilray went from about $2 low, $2.50 to as high as $11, fell down back to $4.68. Now I think at $5.50, this was a higher low. That was a buying area at $5.50. Today at $6.30, I still think that even if it falls at about $6 or $5.50, that it is still a buy. And I think that it will go $7.90 and $11. Any medical cannabis company would benefit on any legalization of marijuana. And if Biden and Kamala Harris does win, and they've already said in the debates that they will decriminalize marijuana. So if you haven't been listening to the news, then let me just read that for you. Cannabis. So weed stock surge as Kamala Harris vows to decriminalize. Controversial cannabis history is making one of the suggested advocacy. She wants to decriminalize pot. So they won't have step marijuana. So that's actually a policy. And in our view, that policy is going to be positive on all of them. So that the still rate that is going to go higher. Let's take a look at some Canada names. Hexo Corp, also known also in Canada. So let's take a look at the New York Stock Exchange Hexo. So far, Hexo has been doing well. You could see that it went from about 40 cents to as high as $1.20. That was a 200% range. I think that in the short term, yes, you'd have seen the lows for these marijuana names. So in the short term, this 70 cents is really a potential support, and your resistance is somewhere at $1 and $1.20. So whether you're trading it or just news event driven trades, I do think that these are presenting some good risk reward names. Whether it be Grow Generation, the pot and shovels play for the cannabis, or you're playing companies like the True Leaf, like the Relief you can rely on. So we said that here at about 25 was a buy. I do think that this one has been doing higher lows because True Leaf Cannabis makes money and is profitable. So you could see higher lows from about 10 to 17 to 25. Even at 28, I do think that it will go higher. This is in Canada, but it also is in your New York Stock Exchange as True Leaf TCNNF. Same chart as well, same chart pattern. Green Thumb is in my view the Procter and Gamble when it comes to cannabis names, whether it be medical or recreation. So they've got everything: cannabidiol, chocolates, drinks, everything. So you can just check it out on the website yourself. But Green Thumb Industries gets a buy rating from me. You could see higher lows here from about $8. So you could see $6, 8, 10. 14, 16, 18. I do think this $20 goes higher still. This is a Canadian company, and Green Thumb Industries. Listed in Canada. Sorry, it's not Canadian company. Yeah, it's all in the Awesome 10X Inner Circle picks if you do want to study Green Thumb, all of these marijuana names. Let's take a look at CGC as well, Canopy Growth. Just for chart purposes, you could see that Canopy Growth also has shot up. So from 15, it's now at 1960. Although there will be some resistances back at 24, do remember that there was a lot of resistances in all of these cannabis names. It's not an easy way out. But I do think that these resistances, the point is, we know already their short-term low. Whether they can resistance have 21, 24, or 28, that is for the market to judge. Okay, what else is something that we have to discuss? So in general, I'd say that although I do like, so this is what's happening on the streaming front. Let's take a look at Disney. Disney is up 6%, I believe, after hours. So let me read that. It's 131. Because after the dividend, the postponement of dividend, actually Disney listened to the shareholders and is coming out with more restructuring for their media assets. That is a good news for Disney shareholders. So it looks like this could even break out of $140. Let's take a look at the news. Walt Disney is reorganizing with greater focus on streaming media. Let's read that together, guys. The entertainment powerhouse Walt Disney will soon look a bit different from an investor's perspective. Company announced that considerable assets will more directly be on streaming platforms such as Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. The new structure will take effect immediately. It will be reflected in the first quarter report of Disney in early Feb 2021. This means that it will change that traditional structure of Disney. Kareem Daniel will lead the newly formed Media and Entertainment Distribution Group. This division will manage Disney's content distribution, commercialization efforts on a global level with Disney's various media streaming services at the vanguard. Daniel recently served as the president of Disney's Consumer Products, Games, and Publishing. So Josh D'Amaro will lead the Disney parks. Disney made it clear that this organization places more weight on the company's media streaming solutions, inching closer to the digital content focus that activist investor Dan Loeb suggested last week. Given the incredible success of Disney Plus, it has 20 million plus subscriptions in its very first month or so. It will accelerate our direct-to-consumer business. The answer here is a yes. It is a buy for me. I do think that Disney will go all-time highs in the next few years. So for those who don't have it, market cap Disney 220 billion. Even at $130 tonight, I still think that Disney goes higher. Those who would sell Disney at $130, get it from them because this might be a play for the next Disney streaming giant. There's more on that. So yesterday we changed our hearts. Remember, yesterday we said we were long some Pintuotuos, some Agoras, some Disneys, and so forth. So just really sharing to you that we are bullish on these themes. Now let's take a look at your questions, if any, commentaries. Thanks, Nikki. I was wondering, how can I join your Awesome 10X Slack group? I'm an Awesome 10X subscriber on YouTube. Thank you. All the Slack files and the Zoom classes, the Inner Circle classes, I'll share to you how to join. You just go simply to awesome10x.com, wherein we give you insights, feed you analysis, and really in-depth Awesome 10X deep dives for a better portfolio. How to globally invest in 10X trends. You can click the sign up now. So it will offer you that so you can just see all the ways to be a subscriber. 2,000 pesos every month, 10,000 every 6 months. You can just go there and then subscribe. As a member, you will get that Zoom live classes from me, on demand, stock market, and la la la. So everything is just there. Or you can also pay PayPal, whichever is the best for you. So it's all on the website. Just sign up here. What is inside? So what you see is what you get. You are seeing, I'm gonna share to you that inside the courses, let me share to you a library. So you'll get the Global Investing Core Training. This is something that we share our process, how we teach people to diversify, how long-term wealth is created. So it's all here. How is long-term wealth created? The Awesome 10X System by Nikki Yu, the Awesome 10X Investing Principles, how to build your first ever global stock portfolio, and so forth. So we have the assumption that you are a newbie, you don't have any idea on the US, so that's that. So we want everyone with no knowledge to go there. Now, after you know the process, you now learn to study the classes. So, for example, in October we mentioned Ericsson, Smurfit Kappa Group, Bloom Energy, Alteryx, the plummeting cost of solar. Sumo, Sumo, this is not Sumo Logic, not to be confused with Sumo Logic of US. This is Sumo of London, Sumo Group. Rocket Loans, Curie. So September, we discussed Brookfield, VNet, 21 Vianet, Herman Miller, NVIDIA. So some of these names you have been able to hear about because I do share every Friday a free class deep dive. So we are here in Awesome 10X to guide you to find the best ideas for your portfolio. So example, TrueLive, yeah, we actually discussed that since August. So we do deep dive so that people can understand what's really happening within that, and we have these presentations for people to really do deep dive analysis on them. So that's really how we do our group. Okay, so if GME gets a partnership soon with Sony, GameStop has a partnership with Microsoft, not with Sony. Wrong news, wrong reading. GameStop has a news that they partnered with Microsoft to give a go for an ultimate access. In my view, the fact that Michael Burry already bought like 18% of all the float of GameStop, and Chewy got 9%. That's 27% stake in GameStop at about $3 for Michael Burry, $3.30. GameStop will not go bankrupt. The answer there is no. GameStop is now at $11, $12. I think that the lowest that GME will probably just go down will be just 9 or 10. Which platform are you using to trade US stocks? I use Interactive Brokers. Some of us are using eToro, some of us are using Ameritrade, some of us are using E-Trade, Charles Schwab. So I personally use Interactive Brokers, but you can open any brokerage firm in your that suits you. Is it a good time to enter more solar names after yesterday's drop? Good question. So actually, solar names have been dropping, but I believe that the drop was just a profit-taking move. So in my view, I'll be taking a look at SunPower and Sunrun. So Sunrun and SunPower, it was kind of obvious that they, at some point there will be a reckoning because it's like 400% up in just 3 months, right? For Sunrun, and SunPower is like up 100% in just actually 150% in just like 3 months. So here, let's show to you the chart of Sunrun. In my view, there will be a support for Sunrun here at about here $60 back to about $40. So starting 63, 65, you enter a little, then you can enter more at about $50 or even at 55. So this move was 10x from $8 to $80. I don't think it will go to $40 below. I think that if you can get in at about 45, great job for you. So yes, that dip next month or next week or next few days, I think it's going to be a buying opportunity. You can either wait for the market to tell you or make some small staggered buying on the way down from 50, 55, 60, all the way to about $40. 45, I think. 45 would be the lowest if it will really go down for some profit-taking move. Now, for SunPower, I do think that this was also just a profit-taking move after a superb run-up, SPWR. Same for CSIQ, same for, same for, so you're just really waiting for them to drop. So this 112, I think, is the lowest that SunPower will go. In fact, I think SunPower will just drop here at about $14. We might not be able to get in at about 12. So this is a very strong momentum name with secular trends that I love. So for SunPower, I'd say that yes, 14, 15, even at 16 last night was a buying area. The low last night was 15.5. This will be a consolidation, something like this, what happened 12 to 10. So 18 minus 3.6, assuming there will be some profit taking. Let's say it goes down to 15 or 14. That is a buying opportunity. The answer is yes. I am a buyer of solar names. Okay. So Dennis Juan, do you think the recent drop? I already answered that. So yes, I think it's a secular trend. Thanks for answering my questions. Very helpful. Yes, I agree. Thank you. Thank you very much. So thanks for listening to the channel. We thank you for all those who are watching the channel and planning to subscribe so far. Please do note that we have a 10,000 pesos or $200 package where you can just learn and you can watch all of our analysis. Now, if you ever want to check our track record, our YouTube channel is there for you. You can just backtrack and you can see that we have been helping a lot of clients make 100%, 200%, 300%, no joke returns. So there. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.